On this episode, I show you how to connect multiple garden grids together to run from one water source. Hi everyone, I'm Bryan from Garden in Minutes, and this is episode 12 of Easy Growing. On this episode, I'm going to answer a common question we've been getting recently. How do you connect multiple garden grids together for a larger garden area, all to run from one water source? And really the concept behind it is really simple. More or less the idea is that when you have, for instance, your single garden grid, it connects directly to your garden hose like such. However, if you have a larger garden area and you want to connect multiple garden grids, we basically want to use our two-way water flow valve, which takes your water coming from your garden hose and splits it to other areas. So if we take, for instance, our 2x2 garden grid here, and say we have another garden bed over here and we want to run water to it, but we only have one water spigot, what you're going to do is take your valve, connect to your garden hose like such. There we go. You connect your valve to your garden grid, and then you just run a hose from that one to the next. What's nice about the valve is that it allows you to adjust the water pressure to each garden grid individually. So if we want this garden grid to run at a full stream, I simply open the valve all the way. If I want to run at a drip, I just close it a little bit. So if I'm growing seedlings or something, the water stream isn't too intense for them. Same thing with the other grid. We have a hose coming off of here, and this valve can control the amount of water flow going to it. So I adjust it independently of this grid, so that way I can water exactly what that garden needs and give the water to exactly what this garden needs, while all running from one hose. Now when it comes to running multiple garden grids next to each other, say you have a larger garden bed to 4x8 garden, you have two 4x4 garden grids together in it, you can take the valve as well and connect them. Basically, you do what we have here, you connect the valve directly to your water feed tube, you run the other water feed tube to your other garden grid, and your hose comes directly into the valve itself, so you can split it just like we were showing before, except now you're not connecting to something further away. And that's actually something that we use in our garden quite a bit. We run a variety of grids throughout our garden behind me. I'll take you a little bit closer to show you exactly how that works and how you adjust the water flow, and then even connect more than two grids together to go to other garden beds that are further away. Alright, so right here we have two of our 4x4 garden grids connected together to run from one water source. If you're familiar with the garden grid, you'll know that it's a plant spacing guide and an irrigation system in one. Basically, it partitions your planting area into roughly square foot growing sections that we can grow by area as opposed to rows. If you watched episode 11, you'll know all about that. Now, when you have your two grids connected together here, you have your one water source and your valve just like we showed on the table. You have the water source coming in, feeding water to both of the grids, and you can adjust them so that way they can water independently of one another. So I have the water flow running right now. If I go ahead and open up the valve to this grid, you'll see that the water begins to come out of the grid itself. You see the water starting to come out here and here. Look, go. And down just a little bit for these plants. Nice and smooth. Now on this one, I want to open up just a little bit of water pressure, and so I'll open this valve a little bit. So now we have a drip running just for some of these smaller plants that we have here. So it allows you to independently water each of your garden sections while running from one source real conveniently. Okay, next, if you have more than two garden grids that are right next to each other, and you want to lead off to another, so you have 3 grids or 4 grids or so on, you just add another valve connected to the two-way valve that you already have. It gives you the water flow adjustment going to this grid, going to this grid, and now you have another hose that comes off the valve leading to your other grid. Now the idea behind this is when you get to your third grid, you connect directly to it with your garden hose, but if you have say 4 or 5 grids, you add another valve at the end of this hose so you can split it from there. So really the concept behind it is really just more or less daisy chain everything with short hoses that we have and with our two-way valves. It's real simple. that's it for Easy Growing episode 12. Thank you all so much for watching. To summarize everything we talked about, if you want to connect multiple garden grids together to run from one water source, take advantage of our two-way valve. That way you can split the water going to different areas. If you have a garden bed that's spaced out from another garden bed and you have a grid in each of them, simply split the water coming from your one water source, connect to your one garden grid, and feed a hose over to the other one. If you have two grids next to each other, just connect them with the valve right next to each other. And then if you have multiple garden grids, you simply add another valve so you can add another port for another hose to come off of, all basically just splitting up the one water source that you have. In total, you should be able to run around 6 garden grids simultaneously with standard city water pressure. And that's it. Thank you all so much again. Please leave your comments, questions, and we'll see you next time.